What's good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with the Tesla SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with some big news involving Teslas. We're seeing some updates from the NHTSA. Not to mention some earnings that just came out, but let me mention that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100, you are guaranteed 7 free stocks, and offer ends very soon in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, for Tesla, right now we have this support right here at our 20 EMA, this 181 area. We're trying to hold this so far. We also have support at 180. Our resistance is currently at 182. Breaking this opens the door for this imbalance fill at 184, followed by 185 is resistance. But overall, Tesla is still holding up decently. We'll be watching to see, is this a cup and handle like structure developing, or is Tesla about to be seen more downside? So it is looking kind of weak right now relative to the market because we had some bad news that came out this morning. So I'll be talking about all of that in just a few minutes. Let's first talk about this. So today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. As a reminder, at 10 o'clock a.m., we have the economic optimism report coming out. At 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Cash Kari is going to be our Fed speaker that's going to be giving a speech. And whatever he says will be very important because Cash Kari is known for being one of the biggest hawks out there in the Fed. So just be careful at this time. I don't know what exactly he's going to say, and whatever he says could shake the markets. So look for some volatility at 11:30 a.m., and we'll see if he causes a little bit of downside or not. He does tend to be very hawkish. And at 1 p.m., we have the 3-year notes auction coming out, so we'll see what that causes. But the main times to be looking for volatility are 10 a.m. I would say 11:30 a.m. as we have the bill auction and Cash Kari giving his speech. Besides that, everything else is very minor for the markets, and we'll see how things go. Now, for earnings, as a reminder, we just had Walt Disney announce their earnings before the market has opened today, and then we have Rivian basically announcing them after close. And this is like the rest of the calendar, at least for now. So just as a reminder, Disney's results were in line with expectations, but it wasn't really enough to get the share price to soar. So the reason for this is because when you look at this, the revenue is at about 22.08 billion versus what analysts were estimating at 22.14 billion, a little bit below expectations. Operating profits were above expectations, and their full year guidance was about 25% on year growth. So not bad. A good guidance overall, but their earnings were mixed, which is what was once again why we ended up seeing the reaction the way it was. Anyways, now let's focus on Tesla. I just wanted to get all of that out of the way real quick. So for Tesla, the US is seeking information from Tesla on how it developed and verified whether autopilot recall ended up working. And that's going to be very, very important. So the NHTSA investigators have come out, and they want Tesla to basically tell them how it developed the fix in a recall of more than 2 million vehicles. Now, once again, guys, so when they say recall, they're not saying that they're not really specifying what they mean by that. I know the media likes to refer to like these issues for Tesla as recalls, but Tesla usually just fixes all of them by simply doing an over-the-air software update. So it's not your typical conventional vehicle recall. It's just simply them fixing some issues in their software. It's very, very simple and something worth noting. So right now, what's happening is the NHTSA has been investigating the whole situation when they had to actually fix 2 million Teslas over the software update. They're referring to that as the recall, right? And now they want Tesla to tell them how and why it developed the fix in this effort. So that's going to be very, very important. They also want to note that right here, they want to address their concerns about whether the recall remedy worked because Tesla has reported 20 crashes since the remedy was sent out, according to what they're saying. And they do believe that FSD was involved. So that's actually something very important. So they're asking for volumes of information about how Tesla developed the fix, zeroed in on how it used human behavior to test the recall effectiveness, and they sent an 18-page letter asking how Tesla used human behavior science in designing autopilots. That's something very, very important. With that coming out, Tesla's now in a very, very critical place. They have to provide information to the NHTSA about their updates and whether or not that they work, and what Tesla was actually using to help provide those updates and whether or not it was applicable. So that is what they're looking for. Don't worry about all this recall talk. They keep saying it was recalled. It was recalled. This is not a typical recall for Tesla. Just remember that, guys. Tesla had to fix over 2 million of their Teslas with an over-the-air software update. So that's the very important thing. But the NHTSA is still investigating Tesla. They want more information on what Tesla is doing. And this is a little bit negative. On top of all of this, there was this news that came out. Tesla has launched another round of layoffs, sadly. And that's something worth noting. Musk said that they're going to be laying off more than 10% of their workforce, not just 10%, but more than that. many weeks ago. And with that coming out, we're going to be looking for another wave of these layoffs. And more reports are saying that it could end up being closer to 20% of the workforce once everything is said and done. So that's something that Elon Musk was talking about. And we're going to be looking to see which other departments they end up basically targeting. So we'll be waiting to see what happens with that. I'm waiting to see more details about it, but I do see a lot of news talking about this more, that more layoffs are essentially coming out, and something worth noting. And then there's one last thing that I'm going to talk about before I break down the charts is Elon Musk is saying that Tesla is discussing licensing FSD technology with one major automaker, and here's who many people may think that it is. Something worth noting about this is with many people who are becoming very, very interested in AI, who could Tesla be negotiating with? Some people are thinking that it could be many different FSD players out there who are actually working together, but many people are actually saying that perhaps it could be uh, many big tech companies out there and many others out there, and we don't actually have the exact details about who that could be. Some are saying that could be like GM. We don't truly know yet, but different people have different opinions. It could be GM, so who knows? So we'll wait and see. But that's something worth noting, and that's something that's very, very bullish for Tesla. So, anyways, guys, what's happening to Tesla right now? I think that's what a lot of people are now wondering. The share price is actually dipping a little bit, and we're just approaching this 181 support. So we'll have to see if Tesla could hold this. We are showing some weakness relative to the market. If we lose this, we could actually dip back down in this range. Now, Tesla's been trading sideways for the last week. We have resistance at 185. We have support currently at this 178 area. We've been going back and forth for quite some time. It is possible we dip a little bit more, and you guys can see right here that there is potential for Tesla to dip a little bit more before it tries to rebound. So I do see potential for this to dip a little bit in my personal opinion. But we'll have to watch and see if we hold for now above our 20 EMA. I do think that there's a risk that this might actually dip a little bit before it tries to rebound again. So I think it's just going to remain range bound for now. But to turn bearish, you want to see it lose 178. To be bullish, you want to see it break 186. It looks to me like it might try to shuffle up here for some time and then eventually drop a little bit lower over time into this 180 area. You're just going to shuffle in this range, in my personal opinion. For SPY, we are looking bullish right now as we're trying to approach our next resistance, which is going to be at 518.5 and eventually 520. But once we hit those levels, be very careful, because the last time SPY hit 518.5, we did reject. And also at 520, we got another rejection. So 2 rejections off those levels. So look for tight resistance, but I do believe we're going to push a little bit higher. We could push a little bit higher and watch these resistance levels just to see how SPY reacts. For the QQQ, this also has potential to go higher. You guys can see that right now it's kind of shuffling at this 440 area. If we push higher, right here, there's this resistance right here at 441 and also at 442.5. So you're going to be looking to see how the QQQ responds to this. 441 is where we have this resistance, and 442.5. And we'll have to see which one of these is where we end up getting our top. For Nvda right over here, we have this 920 area. I did call out yesterday. It might actually retrace a bit to about 908. So that is what's happening so far. And we're kind of shuffling. Going to be looking for a little rebound on Nvidia and attempt to get back up to 920 again. And then we'll have to see if it breaks that. If it does break, we can get closer to 930. And then we'll see if we get a rejection or not off that. But there is potential for this to go even higher. On top of all of this, if you look at Apple's also trying to rebound a bit. It did dip all the way down to about 181. Now it's trying to be approaching 184.25 and also 185. So it could push a little bit higher, come back down, continue to trade within this range. But I do see some range-bound price action. We dipped a little bit. Now we're trying to push back up. We're going to be looking for a push back up to 185 and then some sideways price action just up there. With that being said, guys, I'll conclude the video from here. It's getting kind of late. So for Tesla, it is looking a little bit weak. It could actually dip a bit more, but watch the 20 EMA as support. There is a risk of it coming closer to about 180, but it might get bought back up because so far we're still in our range. So every time we hit this 178 to 180 area, we do tend to hold up. So there's a very good chance Tesla could dip a bit and then hold up. But to turn bearish, you need to see it hold below 178. If that ends up being the case, we could turn even more bearish, but I'm not seeing that just yet. It looks to me like Tesla's just going to be range bound, so I find that to be more probable. So look for a little dip and some range bound price action for Tesla, and we'll see how things go moving forward. I'll see you guys in just a few hours, guys. Thank you for listening, and peace out.